Why don't we shift on to the next one? So we'll talk about go-to-market responsibilities. So the go-to-market team, the go-to-market org, what are the responsibilities in accurate reporting and data integration with finance? So Heidi, I know you've got GTM in your title. So let's lean on you for the first answer with this.
All right. I often say that finance is my best friend at every company I work at. I think it's really important that the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. And way too often have I seen the siloed of, no, that's finance reporting. No, that's RevOps reporting. I actually like to come together with FP&A, whether it be once a month, once a quarter, and say, how many customers do you have? How many customers do you have? And also align on revenue. It's a bit crazy to see the differences sometimes, but as your companies grow, that is actually just going to happen. A lot of it comes down to what was stated earlier about the definition of a customer. Is it anybody who buys anything ever? Is it only recurring revenue that counts? And creating that alignment from definitions of crucial taxonomy is going to make everyone's lives a lot easier. And then you can go back into the numbers and see, where do we have differences? Typically those come down into subsidiaries. Was it really a cross-sell upsell, or is it a new logo? Is it they have a master services agreement with the parent company, but we've tapped into 5 of the children companies? Are those new logos or not? So again, alignment with definitions is crucial. And also the understanding what the strategic initiatives are. I can go about and have my team produce amazing KPIs and hit our own objectives, but if they don't align with the broader company strategies, then, I mean, really, what are we working for? And I think that's why a lot of companies adopt OKRs and try to make sure that we have alignment across the board. I'm a big believer in OKRs. I think it makes everyone's lives easier if these are our North Stars and how do we fit into that versus creating our own siloed North Stars, which I have seen happen. And you can still be successful despite it, but it's just going to slow things down. The more you are in lockstep, the more you over communicate, and even just sharing those definitions over and over and over is an iterative process. Everyone needs to be retrained. Everyone's growing, hiring, people are changing roles. It all comes down into one big formula of just how to work faster, smarter. And it really comes down to communication and definitions, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's great. Lauren, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think, I mean, absolutely the definitions and over communication is critical. I think, again, in the space that we work in SaaS, the fundamental business difference about SaaS from traditional tech is that everything is integrated. It's a virtuous life cycle. And because of that, at least in the companies that we've worked with, when RevOps, you don't have siloed organizations. If we're talking about go-to-market organization, you don't have sales ops and marketing ops in one place, and then RevOps that is maybe in finance or maybe in some other area. It really helps to have an integrated organization that is in lockstep together. So all those functions sort of pull together, or if you have pieces of it in different departments, they have to, have a dotted line into one organization so that you can have one set of objectives and one set of definitions and metrics, because we're all working so fast to that point that, from day to day, things can get out of sync.
Definitely.
I think for a lot of the companies that we engage with, we walk in and there's a bit of the Wild West, that they've sort of shedded the practices of the youth of being a young company and need to adopt sort of roles and responsibilities and security and sort of a different level of process, and have that baked into the system. We see a lot of companies struggle initially with stepping from not having a tool like a CPQ to having a tool like CPQ, because it enforces data to be entered. It enforces controls on that data entry and the correct pricing, the correct modules being sold together, which has a really nice downstream impact on integrations and reporting. But it's interesting where we sort of see that transition from childhood to teenage years to adulthood with our client relationships. There's such an impact on reporting and integration. All right. Why don't we shift gears, Lauren? I'm really curious in your business. So your business surveys your clients, you intake data, and that data, a lot of it is very similar to the data that we build the reporting on, right? It's the same data.
Absolutely.